Hello. So I have a breakthrough that I'm following up on, and I wanted to catch it in action. Don't have the video software I'm looking for, but this will have to work for right now. So here's me, Dorian Cartwright, and I'm investigating a new relationship, a new breakthrough, which is Simon Peter Williams. So this had previously been known to me as Sim Williams on Mary's birth certificate. As you can see here, on Mary, who I am familiar with. That's my great great grandmother. She was married to my great great grandfather, James Samuel Thomas, and they lived in Franklin County, North Carolina. And as you can see here on Ancestry, this is the software that I'm working through. We've always known his name to be Simon Williams. It looked to me like Sim Williams, Simm, on her marriage certificate. And this is where we were stuck for years. We had only that information, couldn't find him in the records anywhere. If I look at her marriage certificate, this is Mary Williams, I can show you the handwriting that we saw. Here it is. To try to figure out who this was. It might not be on here. Mary Williams. They don't show the parents on here. I need the full certificate, which, here it is. This is the full certificate. So there are different types of certificates. That was a summary in an index book. This is the full certificate that was issued to my relatives. So if you see James Thomas, he married Mary Williams. Mary Williams is who we are researching. I'll show you a family tree a little bit later. But anyway, Mary Williams is my great-great-grandmother. And here's Sim Williams. See that? It looked to me like Sim. Let me make it bigger. Simm is what I had been searching. I can't remember how much Simon Williams I had searched, but he also shows up as like Simeon too. So that's where we were stuck there in this. That looks like Vernie. I was always stuck with who that is. I used Vinny, V-I-N-E-Y. But anyhow, through this new tool that they have on Ancestry called Through Lines, I was able to connect Mary to her dad, Viney and Simon Peters. So as you can see, let me go to the Through Lines view, and then I'll show you how I connected in a whole new branch of family. Okay, so let me go back to the Through Lines view. So this is Simon Peters. So they basically take your DNA and they match you to other DNA, and they say, look, your family tree data overlaps the family tree data of your DNA relative, and we think, therefore, as an inference through AI, that this is your relative. So Simon Peter Williams is who they came up with for this missing relative. So if I then delve into Simon Peter Williams, here's where I am right now with that. So, and more importantly, actually, let me go up one level. I needed to show you that so I could show you the dad of Simon Peter Williams, so I could show you how a DNA match helped me make a connection. So here's Simon and me. Now look, this is brand new. She's been on my list forever, but had no connection. So Through Lines made a connection between her relative and mine. So I'm 4 levels down. This is my 3rd great grandfather, and this is her, I guess, 4th great grandfather or something like that. Anyhow, she's also white. I'm mostly African American mixed though, but this is an African American line here. So that also tells us that most likely this is the white blood that we were unsure of where it was introduced at. And that's a big deal, because with slaves and just the black ancestry line, that is often cut off in the public information, even though it's in the white individual may be of record. A lot of black individuals were not of record, and a lot of children from black-white relationships were not of record either. I don't know that that's the case here, but anyhow, what I want to show you is Through Line shows my connection. Here's me, my mom, my grandma, my great-grandpa, my great-great-grandmother, and Simon, my 3rd great-grandfather. And what they found is, through this inferred data, is that he has a brother named John Robert Williams, and they think that that's how she is connected. So I recognize this name Green from a lot of other research I've done that I'll cover later in my kind of clustering or triangulation methodology I've been using lately. I try to remember the last names of a lot of DNA folks so that I can see what's common, and when I see a person I'm pretty confident of, I just put them on my tree, and then I build out that person's tree in order to make a connection. Anyhow, Green is a name I was familiar with, so I wanted to look into her tree and see how Green could possibly be connected to my tree. And what I found is a Virginia Green. So if I go under her Green here, so we're going to go into her table, Misty Green here. So it's actually a Green, so I give that. So Roland Green and Daisy Green. Let's take a look at Roland Green. And I like to go to the tree view so that I can look at that person's perspective and how they fit in. And what I saw here was Virginia Green, and that is a name that has stuck out for me. Because if I go to my family tree now, this is my family tree, and I've heard that name Virginia Green before, so I went over here into the search and typed in Virginia, which there are a lot of, but then Green, there were two, so that means first I need to connect two together. I have a merge that I should do. Let me show you a merge real quick. I'll go in here and merge those two Virginias together that I have in my tree so that combines the data. So look at the way it merges. It takes the most detailed dates. These are the same. Shows you how many sources that comes from, and it'll take this death date and mix that in with this unknown death date. Merge those two records together. So now I have a more complete record. So now let me go back to view and tree. I love that feature because now I can see what she sees. So here's Virginia, my Virginia, right? Remember, Virginia Green connects through Cecil Green. Can I find Cecil Green? Let me see. So here's Virginia on Misty's chart. So Virginia Green had a lot of kids, and she has information on Charles Green, which is her relative. So what I show is Misty Green had some kids, Charles, and Charles connects to Daisy. Wait a minute. We're looking for Misty, right? So I do have Charles and Lila. Let me go back to Misty's chart. Charles and Lila. So she comes down Roland and Daisy's line. Here's Daisy and Roland. So she goes down the Daisy Roland line. Okay, so we're going to connect her in. Look at this. So how would I know? I've seen this guy before. I didn't know how it's connected to him. So now Daisy and Roland had Cecil, and Cecil and Private had Private. Let's check my tree. So Daisy and Roland had Cecil. Cecil and Private had Private. That's one of her siblings. Here, this Green. So that ties Green into this Green group that I'm following, and look at that. We got information that goes up this way. So what I am not sure of is how then that they connect back into my family. I don't know that I have. Oh, actually, what we should now do is connect through lines. Because now if we go to her tree, oh wow, yeah, we can go to her tree, Misty's tree, and follow that through line up, that Henry through line. So the through line we want to follow is Cecil, Daisy, Robert. So Cecil, Daisy, up to Robert. Wait, up to Robert. So Daisy, they show Robert and John Henry. We show John Green. Okay, so that means that all that information is not coming just from here. Oh, so Roland Green, Charles Green. Oh, this is at the Williams side. Oh, so who's the blood? Williams or Daisy Williams, Charles Green. Virginia Green is Charles's mom. I got lost a little bit. So, wow. So Virginia Green. So I just got lost here. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh, right. But we found our way down here. That's right. Flowers was married to some Cecilia Green. Green, Roland Green. Now, Green. So now we have. So here's the deal. So what it's showing Daisy Williams' perspective. It's her world. She's the sun. And this is her universe for ascendants and descendants. But for Roland Green, it shows him collapsed. So we got to go through his portal, down his rabbit hole, right? So this is how you get lost. I was here in the Williams world, but she's by marriage connected over here. So what I do know is that that contributor is here, the person that's related to me, which means these folks are related because this is how it connects to my tree. So now I want to jump into the green side here. That'll go to the tree view from the perspective now of Mr. Green, Roland Green. So Roland's mom is Virginia, right? Roland's mom, oh, Charles, Virginia. Okay, this is how we're going to follow. So Roland, Charles, Virginia. So that matches now. This is now in my tree. So I started with her tree and I connected it into my tree. So now I'm trying to connect myself to the greens. And I don't, right, so there's the blood connection there. And I am not sure yet of how I fit in here. But the methodology I'm using is to take somebody I know that I'm related by blood, which are these folks, and then to build them out. So I'm building out their cloud around them until I get enough of a cloud that it captures some overlap with my information. So I did that to relate Misty's tree to mine. I built her cloud out and connected us along with this through lines data as the main information. And now, this is what I have based on trying to connect the greens into me. So I just need a little bit more data. So I keep looking at these names because I know that they're related somehow. And as I keep adding those types of folks in, so John Henry Williams. Now, if I'm not mistaken, so maybe it's up the Daisy side she's related. It's up the Daisy side. Let me switch to the Daisy side. So now we'll go back up Daisy. Okay, that's so. But Virginia Green matches, and that's just data. That doesn't mean that we're related. So there's related information and then there's dated information. I think they should make different colors for in-laws. Maybe they do. Okay, so we're back to Williams. So let's go. And we have John Henry. So Daisy's grandpa is John Henry on my chart. On her chart, Daisy's grandpa, Daisy. Let's switch back over to Daisy's side. Rufus Proctor. Oh, well, she went up to Williams, and I went up this side. She went up that side. So this appears to be the overlap, right? So she has Robert Williams. This is the connection. Robert Williams married Ruth Proctor, right? Robert Williams and Ruth Proctor. Here, Daisy, Robert Williams, Ruth Proctor. His dad is Robert John Henry Williams. There's John Henry Williams. So look at that. That's pretty interesting. John Henry Williams is not, it says it's linked to Misty Taylor, though. No, the link is Misty Taylor, but the data, this data does not appear to come from her. because Robert Lee is not her connection to to Henry. Her connection is, yeah, Robert Lee. Wait a minute. Robert Lee. But she doesn't have John Henry on her chart here. That's where the connection came in, right here. This is where the AI realized that this brother overlapped this brother here via Ruth Proctor. And that's her John Henry. That's the other John Henry here. Here. And now they're saying John Robert Williams is next. So John Henry. So this is going to be John Robert Williams. Okay. But now we got some more information here. Look at this. So again, I'm thinking this is blood, because this is blood. Either way, and you know, the potential father, sometimes I check those out first because they give you names that, I mean, it's easy to find their brothers and their related family, but you know what's more exciting is the mother's name, because that gives you a new surname, one that you didn't have before. So now I know Williams is connected to who? It's connected to Gay. Rowena Gay. Uh-oh. This is already on my chart. This is a duplicate. That's the connection. I recognize the Gay, Rowena Gay. I'm pretty sure. And John Henry Williams, now that you see. Okay, so let me get this surname here. See, that's why that name is so important. And look what else happens. Rowena Gay Williams. So that was her married name, right? I'm assuming this is her surname. So when I go in the record, I'll change that to just Rowena Gay, because that's who married Robert Williams. Even though, you know, they both correct, that makes it more. Here too, Jane Kearney, Whitmell Kearney, because I want to distinguish from actually when people actually did marry their relatives. Let's see if we get a new match. Sometimes it happens, you put one in and you get more, and you keep climbing up the tree. So I think, let's see if this is a duplicate. A lot of hits anyway. So this is Rowena Gay Williams. I have a lot of Williams in my tree. From 1824, Nash County, North Carolina. Okay, that sounds familiar. We're going to merge duplicate, because I think, oh yeah, okay. So now we're going to connect her into my tree. Let's see what happens. The same birth date, same name, same death date. This is the same person from my tree. So now we're on my tree. View her in the tree. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Right. Kitchen Gay. Right. I remember Kitchen Gay. Right. So here's Rowena Gay Williams. And like I said, she's actually a gay. Okay, no, that's Lydia Bunn. I was looking for Bunton. Thought that was Bunn. So that tied in. This is the data that's filled in that was already in my tree here. That means that these people I had previously identified as related. And they tie into this information now from recently. And what was it? Robert Lee? The Daisy Williams goes down the Robert Lee, John Henry line. Where's John Henry? Here's John Henry. So William John, there's two. So this is John Henry's family. 58. All right. So is it this John Henry? Let's see. Yeah. Then he had the Robert Lee, which is Misty's relative here. And he also had, yeah, Robert Lee here. Right? Oh, I'm so confused. Anyway, what I just showed is how we used this DNA. So we're in Ancestry, and we have DNA matches. I also have a large family tree of about 4,500 folks. And I don't know how big Misty's tree is, but something attracted me to that tree. Well, it really showed a common ancestor, but we have data that overlapped. That overlapping data shows her greens, which I've seen before, and Williams, tying into Caleb Williams, who is inferred to be related here to Mary Williams, and it kind of makes sense now that we're seeing it play out, because when I look at her tree here, Misty's tree, she has data that overlaps with my data. So I guess that's what I've found, data, and that's what they were looking at. So now my data expands, and I have found this kind of hidden line on my tree. Dorian Cartwright. So we're going to view this. Let me see. Let's go back to John Henry Williams, and now we've tied in kind of these folks via her tree to my tree using that DNA connection. Now what this has done is added a couple of hundred folks to my tree, and they're already connected deep down the line to Misty Taylor. What I expect to happen soon is for me to start getting some more hints as I fill these folks in around, as I fill in Misty's universe, and these, all this other new information I have, all of these folks, all of this stuff is brand new. As I start to fill that information in, it's just going to be like a pinball machine, ding, 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 ding. There's going to be tons of other DNA relatives that now, because imagine the folks, let's look at who she's related to. So now that we know how we're related to her, we can go and look at ethnicity shared. Now she's white and I'm mixed. Let's look at this. I'm mainly African American, but so I'm, let's see, me. Huh. Oh, yeah, it has. Oh, this is the overlap. Oh, I see. This is the overlap in blood. So, Europe, Scotland is what her kind of thing is. So, this is kind of a Scottish family. So, not only that, but more important is the shared matches. Oops. You do not have any shared matches. That's really, really too bad. Because any match that she has would be deep down inside of this Mary Williams connection that we have. Wow. So hopefully she gets more folks coming in. Let me see her own profile. She last signed in 3 to 11 months ago. So she's not going to see this information for a while. So here's her tree. She's a green. So she's researching greens. And wow. Okay. Well, too bad, Misty. I could look her up on Facebook maybe, but then Misty Taylor's going to be pretty popular. Let me check really quickly, since that's another thing that we do sometimes as a research technique, is to see if I can reach out to her a different way, or even on LinkedIn. Let's see, Misty Taylor, LinkedIn. I don't know if it's not a nickname or something. Let me see this one. I don't look at my Facebook. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Okay, Misty Taylor. Do we see her? See, it's a popular. I figured that name with Misty Taylor, coordinator, entertainer. Okay, so that's as far as that investigation goes. So, Misty, couldn't connect you that way for a talk. But anyway, I think that's a good place to cut the cheese here. Yeah, Green Williams on her side, Henry and all those folks, same on my side. Now I have a whole lot of info on my tree, and what I expect to happen is for Facebook, these guys, it's also my new Facebook, to go in and crunch my DNA matches, and then what that really helps out is a common ancestor. So now when I click common ancestors, it doesn't do it immediately, it takes a while. I should have some more people here that it's used its AI for to connect. Here's Misty. This is where she started. She started here. And I can't believe, so I had her identified as a Williams. Yeah, I just did that yesterday, but I can't believe we don't have overlaps. Let me check again this way. 0 overlaps? See, here's the information from her tree. Look, oh, now we have common ancestors. Oh, wow. Yeah, because this is all the information I got from her tree. That's why. But this is the connection. I still wouldn't have been able to draw the connection here. But anyway, yeah, I would need her expanded tree. Oh, what about here with the greens? Virginia green. but they don't show that on my tree because it's not on that expanded. Daisy Williams, I wouldn't have recognized there. But shared matches, none. Okay, it is what it is. But anyway, Misty. So then, you go down, and what your hope is to find some common ancestors. Because when there's a common ancestor, it makes things easy, right? So this guy has a common ancestor. I go in, boom. I already know this is how we're connected. So even though I can't find it here, then I can use the same view, the same way I get that connection to Misty. Just click here. And this is what the inferred connection is based on that overlapping data. This guy, I already know this line though. So this line I'm pretty familiar with, the Loudermilks. Amanda, yeah. So Priscilla had Daniel, Amanda. Actually, Daniel and Amanda had, so we're related twice because half siblings also were, these are also his parents. It's his aunt and his half aunt, whatever. But Loudermilks, I'm familiar with them. So yeah, Isaiah, I know him, familiar with his connection to the family. So anyway, that's all we got for right now. So going back, this is Dorian Cartwright doing a tree live update. Show you where I am in my tree. Oh, home person. So go back to the home person here. To close it out, just to kind of show you where I am in this big picture. It won't. What they don't show is connections. I'd like to see a quick connection between me and Henry and to map it out. Maybe they do. I don't know about it, but anyway, this thing's getting all confused now. Well, we're just gonna cut it there, I think. Let's see if it figures it out this time. Okay, Ancestry's looped up. Thank you. Bye-bye.